When I grew up, Christianity seemed like it was either really irrelevant and old-fashioned and sort of dusty and sort of incense and sort of or they tried to modernise it, and it seems just like, right, okay, we're going to talk about Jesus.
Dude, okay, wow, so true or not true? Okay.
This is going to be the best day ever. This is going to be the best day ever. Wake up.
He might be reborn in us.
Dude! He recites basically Moroni's promise, brother. I call out our tribe for that.
I think it's amazing that comedians now are philosophers.
The following is an episode of WardRadio and does not represent the thoughts or the opinions of KHTS, its owners, or any of its affiliates, nor does it represent the official opinion of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. With that said, sit back, relax, and enjoy the program.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to WardRadio. I'm your host, Cardinals. Today, I'm joined via Zoom by Jonah Barnes, the Associate Professor of all things apocryphal. And today, we're talking about Russel Brand teaching Sunday school. My man, I just came across in my feed a great little 1-minute blurb by one Russel Brand, and I wanted to call you up and talk to you about this because I think Gen Z and the new atheists and everybody that turned away from God as the hippies got big in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, perpetuated and glamorized secularism. I think we've gotten it out of our system, and the pendulum is starting to swing back because it looks like Russel Brand, here he's talking about why he wears a cross and quoting Galatians, and I wanted to go over this with you. Why are you rolling your eyes, dog? Why are you Why are you rolling your eyes, man?
I don't know. I haven't listened to it, but I have a little bit of a bias against Russel Brand. I'm just going to say.
Well, what should be for Russel Brand?
I'm a little judgmental going into this. I'm going into this with bias.
What is it?
No, I freaking hate Russel Brand. Russel Brand, nobody would care about Russel Brand if he didn't have a British accent. Nobody would care what this guy says. He's this hairy, werewolf looking dude who 1 minute he's an atheist and the next he's a comedian and the next he's dating some hot woman, and he's never been successful at anything except for changing his brand to fit whatever the zeitgeist is. I just don't have any. I'm sorry.
Well, is that not a skill in and of itself? Is not the man whose last name is Brand changing his brand and rebranding, for lack of a better term? Is that not
the most apropos surname in the history of surnames? The guy is nothing but his whole identity is just a marketing. He's just a skin changer. He's just it'll say whatever it needs to say in the moment. He'll say whatever he needs to say in the moment to be relevant. But if he didn't have this accent, if it didn't sound like one of the Beatles, nobody would care at all who this person is. I don't understand why dating somebody famous is this great accomplishment. Who's the other guy? Pete Davidson or whatever. Never done anything in his life. Never done a thing in his life. But he dated somebody who also had never done anything, but she's pretty.
You're making
by association.
Old man wheeze.
Oh, yeah,
dude, okay, well, look, I like Russel Brand, brother. And he seems on a journey, but he's intellectually honest about his journey. And I like that. So we're going to see what Russel Brand here has to say about the reason why he wears a cross now, which, though it's not the most common icon amongst members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, aka Mormons, I found what he had to say very germane to the conversation on modern spirituality. So we're going to take a look at this. Here we go. Russel Brand, go.
I wear a cross is because Christianity, and in particular the figure of Christ, are, it seems to me, inevitably becoming more important as I become more familiar with suffering, purpose, self, and not self.
Okay, look at that. So we're going to start out. He says, I'm adopting the image of the cross as I become more more acquainted with grief, as the book of Isaiah says, which is a Christ-like attribute. I thought this was great. Let's keep going.
Reading the Bible a lot more, and as I've told you before, I'm reading Rick Warren's Purpose-Driven Life. When I grew up, Christianity seemed like it was either really irrelevant and old-fashioned and sort of dusty and sort of incense and sort of "Ora Domine," or they try to modernise it, and it seems just like, right, okay, we're going to talk about Jesus. And
Dude, okay, so true or not true?
Okay. All right, that's fair observation. You know, this is such a shame. It's a shame that the restored gospel.
Oh, it's not done yet. We're going to keep going, but say what you got to say.
But he's right. I mean, we've either got this like, just, you know, boring. That's pretty good actually. Or we have this hyper desperate, you know, even evangelical Christianity. And all right, okay.
And honestly, I call out our tribe for that. Like what you were just joking a couple of days ago about Worthen, you know, practically destroying BYU by trying to bend over backwards for all the woke scolds. And how is that different than the hippies that are willing to trash all of their Christian doctrine to try and make it so that, you know, Christianity fits into a secular society with their guitars and their hippie music? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you're right. That's true. That's
so
right.
Here, Russell
and
Brand,
we're at our worst when we swing either one of those ways.
Yes.
When we're trying to be too accommodating, or when we're just so ignorant of how boring we can be, that's when we're at our worst. So so far, I've loved all of these observations. Russell Brand, go.
And like both of those routes seem like, I don't know if there's anything for me. And I suppose it takes a certain amount of adulthood, and it might be different for all of us. For me, it seems that it's taken quite a lot to recognise that I need a personal relationship with God. It occurred to me that if instead of always talking to myself inwardly, I could replace one of those voices with an indwelling God. It says in Galatians, it is our job to die so that as Christ died on the cross, he might be reborn in us.
Dude! He recites basically Moroni's promise, brother. Yeah, how can you not dig what he's saying? He's coming at us. He's quoting Galatians. He's quoting, like, brother.
Yes, true. Yes, that's okay. Fine. I mean, today, you know, who knows if 3 days from now, he's going to be like, I've really gotten into Buddhism when I discovered, and he'll move on to the next thing, whatever. But okay, well, fine. I'll give him that. You do want a personal relationship with God? Absolutely. Well, I hope he sticks with it.
I would like to just point out, he made a fair observation that the church kind of just, when the internet happened, one of two things happened. There were either churches that were trying to be cool, and they worshiped cool more than they worshiped God. And they were willing to sacrifice doctrine in order to achieve clout. Okay. And the church went astray in that direction. But then we got to call them out. Half these conservative churches, it's not that they were conservative, it's that they were lazy. And they were woe unto the comfortable in Zion. They were comfortable. They liked their analog era church. They liked their boomer church. They liked their boring whatever version of church. Okay. And as much as, you know, like Catholics would say Vatican II was a disaster and this whole, you know, liberalization of the church was too much. And like, yeah, there was the liberals that were this way, but then also there was the conservatives that utterly refused to modernize.
Yeah, it's true.
And let their youth go completely inactive. And there were these people left in the middle that sought spirituality. Okay. But as Joseph Smith said, they seek for the truth, though they know not where to find it. And he admits that it's taken me a lot longer than I thought, but I've realized I need to develop a what? A personal relationship with Jesus Christ, which is the basis of our doctrine of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Whenever we were missionaries, do we convince people like the evangelicals do of the creeds of sola fide and sola scriptura and all that other stuff? No, we say, read this book and take Moroni's promise. If you pray and you develop a personal relationship with God, he will tell you whether or not this is the path you should walk, whether or not this is the journey you should be on, and boom shakalaka. Then you'll know through your personal revelation and your personal relationship with God that this is where you should be. So I got to tell you, my man, I think Russell Brand is spot on in his analysis, and I am not tainted by my anti-Englishman hatred that you have wearing your New York Mets hat. That's why. You
It's
don't like
Liverpool. It's not anti-English. Look, I've got a lot of English in my blood. It's the Liverpool. That's what it is.
Oh, it's the Liverpool. That's what it is. All right.
No. I think that's great. Like, I think that's wonderful. He makes a very honest observation. I think it's amazing that comedians now are philosophers. Is it what? I don't know how this happened to us, but yeah, he's right that some churches are so boring. They've been stripped of all life and joy, and then other joyful churches have been stripped of all their deep spirituality.
Yeah.
It's always somewhere in between. More and more people are identifying as nuns. Not nuns like N-U-N. That'd be really interesting.
Religious N-O-N-E-S's, nuns.
The
Yes.
younger people walking around in nuns' habits. That would be a newsworthy story.
That would be
just like
the
new
ultimate
trend.
trad wife. The ultimate
The new
trad wife.
trend.
Still a virgin.
But people talk about this all the time, and we've talked about it here on this channel. The traditional religion, organized religion, people aren't into that. They just want to be like spiritual, and I can totally understand because a lot of traditional religion just was not there when they needed it. I hope that this is great, Brother Brand. This is great. Okay, don't lay on the accent so thick. We don't need the accent so thick. We get it. You're English, okay? But we're glad that you're having a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. So how does that translate into works? I want to see. That's great. Next step is
he's meditating. He's got search, ponder, and pray down. He's reading the scriptures. Great. He's searching. He's pondering. He's praying. Look, he just needs to talk to us on this show. And next thing you know, he's going to be a baptized member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in like 30 seconds. We got him.
How many people we got? We got the hockey player Ryan. Derek Ryan, the hockey player. We got Tucker Carlson. He took the gold pill. Roseanne Barr. She took the gold pill. Who else have we got? We got a
lot of people. Jordan Peterson took the gold pill. Dr. Phil took the gold pill. Yeah, he'd be in good company, bro.
They're dropping like flies. Yeah. Dropping like flies. And now Russell Brand is next.
Yeah, for real. So anyway, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. And as always, for this and more, please check us out at WardRadio.com.
This is gonna be the best day ever. This is gonna be the best day ever.
Wake up, top of the morning. The bacon is crispy, the coffee is pouring. My meditation is peeling an orange. The bank says I'm already scoring.